and welcome to the Inside Story. And today I have Abi Joshi with me in the Zoom studio. Hi, Abi.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And how are you today?
I'm good. It's night time, the kids are in bed, so this is the best time of day.
Good. Bit of peace and quiet and
Peace.
time to relax.
That's it.
So I understand you've had a significant birthday in the family recently. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
Yes, on Sunday there we had Juniper's first birthday. And it was
Wow.
a gloriously sunny day, just like the day she was born. So it's obviously a great time of year to be born.
Yes. Well, certainly the weather's been brilliant, but I guess it's a bit frustrating being sort of locked down and stuck in during this time. How did the children get on during the party? Was it a big
Uh,
party?
Well, do you know, it was a very busy party. Darcy, the 8-year-old, she commented that she was thrilled because she really felt she was involved and she got to organise quite a lot of it. So they really enjoyed it. We just thought about all the things that Juniper liked to do and we just tried to cram it all in. So the day before, we decorated all the house, and I have quite a lot of decorations because I like that kind of thing. So the house was fully decorated. We're really lucky that we've got a big garden, so we've got a tent up just now, and so the girls took all and pretty much all of their teddies, and that's quite a few of them, and set up a teddy bear's picnic for Juniper's lunch,
Wow.
and they did all sorts of things, so it was just a really special day. Yeah, it was really nice.
That's excellent. Excellent.
And
And
of course, during the church Zoom call, everyone sang happy birthday. So that was special as
yes,
well.
yes. No, that was good. That was good. And a memorable occasion. I mean, whenever she's, 21, she
Yeah.
can look back at her first birthday and what a time it was that
Yeah.
she and her parents and all of us were going through. And I guess that leads us into thinking about, apart from the birthday party, how are you managing as a family under these circumstances? What kinds of things are you doing to survive?
Well, as a stay-at-home parent, I am actually at home generally quite a lot. And the kids are at school and nursery and play groups, but we are used to being in home quite a bit, so that really helps. But obviously being in the house all together all the time has its challenges. Obviously, and with the homeschooling as well. But I think we're just trying to keep it fun and trying to have days when we do just relax. And this is very difficult for me and Manny because we're busy doers all the time, but having days where we do just relax and all watch a
Yes.
film together and stay in our pajamas. But also my children, particularly the older ones, do like a bit of structure and they do like planned activities. And thankfully there's so many resources out there, so we do have a bit of a plan every day, even if it's just a couple of small things, but it gives us a bit of purpose and a bit of focus to each of our days. But with so many
Yeah.
people in the house, we do just take it take it day by day and see what the general mood is.
I guess it must get quite chaotic sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know, this is a generalisation, I'm sure, but 4 little women, they are very chatty people, and that is a lovely, lovely thing. But I have to admit, sometimes I do crave a bit more peace and quiet, and it is lovely that there's not as much outside noise, there's not as many cars and shouting, and we live across the road from the school, so we usually hear a lot of noise, and so it is nice to have a general calmer atmosphere outside, but it is a bit crazy with these 4 little girls.
Yes, yes. It must be a lot of fun too. What kinds of things are you and Manny doing then for yourselves around the house
Well,
and so
yeah,
on?
I can't say we're doing much relaxing things, but we are people who like to be quite productive. So our greenhouse was falling apart, so I've been learning how to repoint it and paint it all. We've been prolific in the garden. We are in the garden, particularly myself. I love gardening, so I've been in the garden all the time. We've got 5 tons of horse manure on the driveway, so we've been carting that up to the back of the garden, and it's actually been really good because it's all these jobs that would have normally taken us months to get around to.
Yes.
We've done in the last kind of month. So and we both quite enjoy that. It keeps your mind off everything else and keeps you focused on moving forward. So
and I guess it keeps you physically fit as well. And that's one of the things we're exploring in these conversations is, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, how is this affecting people, and what kinds of things are they doing to stay healthy and fresh and alive during this difficult time. Do you want to say anything more about, you know, mentally how you're managing?
I think for me, it's been quite interesting because I thought I might need to be in touch with my friends more, but I've actually found that in this time I've kind of probably withdrawn more into myself. I love to read. I love to listen to podcasts. And so for me, mentally, it's been really important to have little worlds that I can escape to outside of my own world. You know, I quite like reading fantasy novels. I really like watching movies and Netflix. And so for me, I have to have little projects on the side to keep myself going. I love to sew. I love, like I mentioned, the garden. Like I'm spending a lot of time planting up. It's been just such a joy every day to go out and see what started to grow. And just, you know, I love to learn. So I'm always got a little thing that I'm learning on the side. And that mentally just helps me kind of decompress and escape. And I suppose perhaps take my mind at times away from it. But at the same time, I've also tried to find quiet times to be more contemplative about what's going on, and trying to find ways as a family that we can respond to that. So with the children, some of you might have seen if you've passed my house, but I've got my tree in my front garden and the children have been tying ribbons, and once a week we've been going out and just been as a family taking time to think about what's going on and who could we say a prayer for, who do we want to pray blessings over. And so just within it, not trying to be in total denial, but just trying to take some time to reflect on what's going on and what's happening out there to other people a lot less fortunate than we are, because we're incredibly blessed.
So you've mentioned a few things there actually that are really interesting. There's podcasts you're listening to, books you're reading, and this idea of a tree with ribbons on it. Say a little bit more about that tree. What does that symbolize for you and the family?
Well, I had read up a couple of weeks ago about this kind of Scottish tradition of the kind of clutie trees, where people just take rags, and I suppose traditionally that comes from older, probably more kind of druidy, pagan-y type practices of use that connection with nature. But I just really find it a special way, even within the Christian faith, as a practice to just take time and to also have a visual stimulus. We're really lucky that we have a big front garden. We have lots of people that walk up and down the street every day, and within our kind of slightly wider community, people have also been coming. I know the church is doing something similar now, and I think it's a really lovely way for people to, while still social distancing, but to still feel like we're a community and we're in it together. And it also looks really pretty. And I think that sometimes for me, you know, I'm a very visual person, I think it's really lovely to see these ribbons blowing in the wind. So I think the tree that we've decided to use is a holly tree, which has symbolism of kind of death and rebirth and hope and perseverance. And so I just thought they were quite nice symbols to be reflective of at this time.
So there's some real crossovers there, you know, in terms of the physical, the spiritual, and the mental for you, and maybe, some of the practices that you've been developing supporting you through this period. You spoke about being more contemplative during this time. Would you like to say a little bit more about what that means, what that looks like? It may be helpful for others who are watching this.
Well, my particular practice is I do try to have a couple of times in the day. Now, I don't have the time to spend 20 minutes, half an hour to sit down in the peace and quiet. Sometimes I do have, 5-10 minutes that I can do, but any time that I have to just be still and to be quiet, for me is really important. And I use that in different ways. Sometimes I do that in response to something that I've read or something that I've listened to. Sometimes it's more in centering prayer. So I actively try to drop certain thoughts. And so there's different ways in which I do that contemplation, but I am trying to find the stillness and the peace in my chaotic life. And I find that keeps me anchored and gives me a balance. I'm also doing a little course, because I mentioned I always love to learn, and I'm doing a little 8-week course through the Centre for Action and Contemplation, and the focus is on Mary Magdalene. And within that, they have given me some new chants and little ways in which to contemplate. So I'm trying to, even if it's not every day, find moments in my week where I can take time to do that. And having Manny at home enables me to do that,
Yes,
so it's good.
Yes. So although you're locked in and isolated, sounds like there's lots to do. It's not a reason to disengage from life, and maybe it's an encouragement to re-engage in a different way. Would that be?
Yeah, I think so. And it's been interesting because through this course and through a couple of other things, I've actually been reaching out to slightly different people. Another thing we've been doing as part of our homeschool is Manny and I are really lucky that we know a lot of people across the world. And so we've reached out to quite a few of them, and I've asked if they could do a very short 5-10 minute little video for the kids about where they're from and what their life's like. And so it's been so lovely because we've actually reconnected with people that we've not spoken to for a number of years. And I think that's maybe a few people have had this happen, where in a strange way it's actually made us connect with people that we've lost touch with or we've not been keeping as regularly day to day. Having that time and that space away from our regular life is kind of making us, reach out to different people. So that's...
Yes. I think it's fascinating, because we've had to stop regular church activities, for example, and yet when we run a Zoom service on a Sunday morning, one of the really interesting things is you're looking at all these people face to face, which we don't actually normally do.
Yeah.
And you're seeing everybody in their own living rooms face to face, and there's a joy about being able to connect in a rather strange way. And I'm just wondering, when all of this is past, when the COVID-19 crisis is no longer a crisis for us, but we're able to manage it, and we return to some of the daily living that we aspire to do. How will that change our way of life? How will we do things differently? Have you any thoughts on that?
Something I feel like I've really appreciated so far, even though I do maintain, I have a strange life because it's very fast and chaotic, but also quite slow and simple. I know that sounds like a bit of a paradox, but it's true. And I think it's slowed down even more. And I think as a family, I've noticed we've consumed less, and I think we value more of what we've got. We've really tried to squeeze out everything that we've got, and things have kind of increased in value. And I think that much slower pace, realising that actually we have everything that we need already, and I think also the way that I've just loved the way that when we've walked past people in the street, people seem to smile more. I'm sure a lot of you watching have experienced this. I suppose it's maybe our camaraderie with what's going on, or just that people are taking the time to actually look, because we're not stimulated socially. but I would love to feel that more of a connection with people and really try to nurture that more. Just that slower, simple pace, and trying to be more present with people. Because I feel like, particularly Manny and I are both quite fast, high-paced people, and I think actually this has been a really good lesson to just be in the moment with people and not think about the future too much. Manny and I are always thinking to the future, really, what's happening next, how can we change things, how can we improve things, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's just a time to just be in the now and just be. So I would hope for us that would be something that we would carry. And I think beyond us, it would be great to see if people actually realised that getting on their bikes was fun and easier than what they were used to, or we don't have to use cars as much and we don't need to consume as much, and appreciate the value of things more. It'd be great if we could take more of these things out, but only time will tell.
Yeah. Okay, Abi, well listen, appreciate you taking the time to share these things with us, and there's lots of food for thought and things to reflect on, and maybe some things that others of us can learn as well, and see how we engage with this situation as a time perhaps of growth and development and stillness as well. So listen, thanks very much, and really do appreciate this, and hope that you continue to enjoy the chaos and the fun.
I know, that's great.
And that your holly tree will fill with ribbon.
Yeah, definitely. Amen. Lovely to speak to you.
Thank you. And until the next time, this is The Inside Story.